Deirdre?
Eric, yesterday Google accused Chinese authorities of interfering with its email service in a way that was carefully designed to look like the problem was with Gmail. These accusations may signal a more aggressive approach by Google and a more severe response by China. Scott Kessler from Standard & Poor's is with us now on the phone. He is head of the Tech Sector Equity Research Division. Scott, thanks so much for joining us. Google's been getting tons of complaints for weeks about its email service in China. We assume that China is disrupting the Gmail. I mean, that's an assumption. But is China, if true, trying to send Google a message before Google's internet license expires this summer?
It's very possible, Deirdre, and it's great to be with you this morning. I think one of the things people need to understand about Google and China is that this is not an easy relationship. It is not a relationship that, frankly, is simple to understand. I do think, though, that the Chinese were miffed when last year Google indicated that they were likely to pull out of the country in terms of its search operations, and this kind of continues the back and forth between the entities. There's no question that China remains important for Google, but Google is not going to sit by and allow the country or its officials or its residents to take advantage of the company, in our opinion.
Scott, as you said, I mean, it's a really complicated relationship. I mean, Google gets about 2% of its overall revenue from China, but as you mentioned, I mean, its presence there is very important to its brand. Gmail, we know, Scott, is just the beginning. I mean, mobile has to be the next chapter, right, the next frontier in China. How is Google going to compete with local companies if China seems intent on disrupting even something simple like Gmail?
It's a very important question, Deirdre. If you look at the history of U.S. internet companies in China, what you'll see is failure after failure after failure. In fact, we would argue that Google, up until, say, a little more than a year ago, was really the only U.S. internet company that pursued China independently and was even remotely successful over a relatively long period of time. There's no question, as you referenced, that China remains important to Google, and I think the company, notwithstanding its, let's say, less significant proprietary search presence in the country, they do a number of things there, including various applications. They had advertising sales there. They have development there. You referenced mobile. I think that's a tremendous opportunity for them. So this is a very fine line that the company is seemingly walking right now.
From a technological point of view, do you think China's using new censorship methods, or is it just stepping up the use of existing tools?
I think it's probably a little of both, frankly. I think one of the exciting and, frankly, challenging aspects to the Internet segment is it's very fast-changing, and companies and countries, frankly, need every day to learn more, to do better, if you will. And so I think China, they're climbing the learning curve as well. You know, they serve as a paradox for us all, right? Because on one hand, it's a communist society, and in another respect is a capitalist society, and it's very difficult to kind of balance those two elements. We think what they're trying to do here is both new technology as well as enhanced approaches.
Scott, we thank you so much for the time. Scott Kessler, he is head of Tech Sector Equity Research at Standard & Poor's.